swinging a high fly ball. They're off in the Kentucky Derby. Holy cow!
And there he goes!
It's time to step across the line with James Collier as he takes you inside the octagon of sports. With the latest from the world of sports with scores, interviews, and the hardest-hitting analysis in the business. Let's step into the octagon of sports.
Let's go!
With your host, James Collier.
A beautiful Saturday morning outside the studios here at downtown Ashland. Friday Night Lights, week number 1, mostly in the book. There are still some teams that will play this evening, but man, we had a lot of great games around the area last night, including Raceland kicking off season number 100 with a walk-off win over Ashland. 17-14 up at Putnam Stadium. I've got Mike Salmons and Raceland quarterback Jake Waller. I should say quarterback kicker Jake Waller, because he was the hero last night that sent the Rams home victorious. We'll talk with him in just a little bit. We'll take a look at Major League Baseball as the postseason is really heating up in that final month of the season as we make the push down toward the postseason. We'll check in on the final 2 rounds of the Tour Championship down at East Lake in Atlanta with Scotty Scheffler trailing. Tell me when the last time you've heard this, and making a run yet again. So we'll have all that, plus the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week. Customer service again. Good God, it's like every week is what it is. All right, let's look at scores from around the area last night. It was Belfry beating up on East Carter 55-28. An interesting note around single A team that'll be of note. Bell County beats Campbellsville 30-24. Boyd County victorious over Gallia Academy last night, 31-17. The Lions had to come from behind to win it, but they got a nice win. Don't forget, Tuesday night, it's the Coach Evan Ferguson show right here on Hank FM at 7 o'clock. Greg Preston and Coach Evan Ferguson will be in studio each and every Tuesday night to break down Lions football. Cal over Pikeville 45-7 as the Panthers take a tough start to their season. East Ridge over Morgan County 22-6. Fairview over Bath County 8-6. Fairview led 8-0 at the half. Bath came from behind, had an opportunity, a 2-point conversion, could not convert, and they fall. Greenup County over Pike County Central 37-6 as the Musketeers ruined the homecoming of former head coach Scott Grizzle down in Lloyd. As we mentioned before, it was Raceland over Ashland 17-14. KCD over the defending champs Sayre 31-28 last evening. Lawrence County Hammers Martin County 35-7. Quickly, I think that was Paris over Frankfurt 56-0. Prestonsburg over Betsy Lane. My goodness, this was a basketball score. 69-46. No defense played week 1. Russell comes from behind over Colgrove. They win it 20-8. And that wrapped. Oh, one other one. West Carter over Lewis County 49-6. All right, we'll step out for our first break. We come back. Racing football, Mike Salmons and Jake Waller in studio. We'll talk about the win last night over the Ashland Tomcats 17-14. That's as we continue here on Across the Line on the Total Media Sports Network.
Temperatures are on the rise, and so is the bite, and Borders Sporting Goods is your fishing headquarters for rods and reels from G. Loomis, St. Croix, Fenwick, Lewes, Shimano, Daiwa, and Abu Garcia. No matter what species of fish you are targeting, Borders has the perfect setup to make your next trip on the water a success. Borders has baits in every size and style with a wide selection of tackle from Berkley, Strike King, Zoom, Z-Man, Bandit, and many more. Before hitting the water for your next fishing trip, stop by and stock up at Borders Sporting Goods, US 60 West in Ashland.
At Clark's Pump & Shop, we're not just a gas station, we're your neighbors.
We're the folks who support your child's sports teams. Fuel your mornings with fresh ground coffee and have a friendly staff that probably knows the name of your dog.
Clark's Pump & Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Tired of gas prices draining your wallet faster than your tank?
Download the Clark's Pump & Shop Rewards app. Earn discounts on gas, breakfast sandwiches, drinks, and more.
Fuel up, snack up, save up with Clark's Rewards. Clark's Pump & Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Hi, I'm Kevin Anderson with First National Bank in Moorhead. From home, auto, and construction financing to refinancing options, we've got the tools to help move you forward. We also offer checking, savings, and full business banking solutions built to support you and your goals. Stop in to see us and let's talk about how we can help you. First National Bank, a tradition of value since 1902. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Primary Plus is your home for quality, advanced, affordable health care, offering family health, OBGYN, counseling, dental, diabetes management, patient-centered medical home, school-based health services, and a pharmacy. Primary Plus also offers the COVID-19 vaccine. Primary Plus with locations in Ashland, Vanceburg, South Shore, Grayson, Tollsboro, Maysville, Flemingsburg, and now in Moorhead. Online, primaryplus.net. For quality, advanced, affordable health care, come to Primary Plus. Again, online, primaryplus.net.
Kicking off your sports Saturday with Across the Line, right here on the Total Media Sports Network at 105.7 WLGC.
Far side hash mark. Parker Ison will set it down. The spot will be just over the 25-yard line. Waller to send it for victory. The kick is up. It's on its way. It looks good. And it is. Jake Waller sends it through. And the Raceland Rams walk it off at Putnam. 17-14.
17-14, the walk-off call last night. I still get chills from that. Man, that was an awesome football game. Raceland races out 14-0 lead after one quarter play. That was the mark at halftime. Ashland comes out of the locker room, puts 14 up in the third quarter, and we got a football game. Ashland and Raceland each got the football once in the fourth quarter. Ashland drove it down to the Raceland 19 on goal after getting behind the sticks due to a penalty, and elected to go for it instead of not trying to kick a field goal attempt. They did not convert. Raceland had the football for the final 7:22, and Jake Waller splits the uprights from the right hash to send the Rams home victorious. Now in studio, head coach for the Raceland Rams, Mike Salmons in. Coach, good morning. How are you?
Hey, James. How does the Glockner family of dealerships make car buying easy? It's simple. Because we monitor competitors' websites daily. We're able to offer you the lowest live market pricing.
1.6 seconds on the clock, and Jake puts one through for the win. But what a heck of a win over a very good Ashland team last night.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what high school sports or high school athletics all about, putting kids in a big stage. Great high school environment last night on both sides, right? It was a lot of big crowd and kids going back and forth and really making plays and really being tested through adversity. And so that's what we are really proud of our guys. We're able to persevere through that, through 48 minutes. Obviously, there was some peaks and some valleys in there. And at the end, we were able to make a play. And so just really proud of our guys staying in there and staying the course. Got some good leadership there. Obviously, and we're going to go back and try to clean some things up that we feel like could have maybe made it a little easier on ourselves along the way. But it's week one, and so it's all part of the process. And we're excited to move forward.
We talked before the game and pregame, and one of the things I said, especially in week one, it's all about trying to get to halftime and which team can make those adjustments that comes out and makes a difference in the football game. Ashland seemed like that they found something out of the locker room as they methodically marched the football right down the field on that first drive they had it.
Yeah, our kickoff team had a good start to the third quarter there, and then Ashland got some momentum driving down through there, and we ended up getting a stop, and so we just never could there in the third quarter. You talk about one possession in the fourth. I think there was two in the third or maybe three in the third. The first couple we had really bad first down plays. We got behind the sticks, and that's one of the things we really talk about, trying to be good on first down. It makes the game a lot easier. And then, unfortunately, the first time was on our own side. The second time was on across the 50. We had two turnovers. And so, I talked in the pregame about, hey, look, we got to be able to run the ball and stop the run and value the football. And so, you're -3 last night in turnovers. It's tough, right? And so that's one thing we got to get better at. We're able to overcome that last night. But that's something that's not a recipe for success in the long run, and something we'll definitely have to address. It would have maybe made the game a little bit easier for us. But, again, our guys were resilient. If we can be resilient like that and clean up our mistakes, I think everybody will really enjoy where this thing ends up at.
The big thing that you and I talked about in postgame last night was the way that your offensive line really took the call of the bell there in that final drive. Your longest drive of the night, 15 plays, 7 minutes, 22 seconds. You take off the clock to get yourself into field goal position. But you even said it. You could really see those big bodies up front. They were really starting to lean on people.
Yeah, that was the end of the drive there, the end of the game. That'd be what we call a championship drive. We had one of those in the state semifinals a year ago. It was really punishing. I think it was 99 yards. down at KCD. And, our whole thought was when we got the ball there was, try to get somewhere around the 25. 25 we'll probably go for it. If we got to 27 or 28, we may flip a coin. That's kind of was our thought all along. But whatever happened, not to let them get the ball back. That was kind of the goal. Our defense had been on the field a couple times in the third quarter because of our quick turnovers. So we needed to make sure those guys were rested in case the thing ended up in overtime. And so that's kind of was our thought all along, and we just was trying to get out of there. We were backed up a little bit, inside the 20, I do believe. And so we just really leaned on those guys. We have 3 seniors up there that are coming back that had played quite a bit last year, another senior who mixing in and out, and a junior, a couple of juniors who's played, and a sophomore we're bringing along. And so we had 7 or 8 guys up there last night that kind of rotate in and out and just trying to hit the right button, get the right mix at the right time. You're probably not going to get that in week 1, but we're going to keep working until we do. And I thought those guys were really physical. I think we played a physical football game last night. Now, we weren't perfect and we weren't clean at all times, but our guys, by and large, were physical. And we picked up, stayed out of – we were good on first down in that last drive. That was a big part of it. Then we really only had the 1 4th down there. We picked up on a big throw and catch with the DPI to put us in field goal area.
It was a weird game. You only threw the football 6 times last night. That it was kind of one of those deals of the run was there, but – like you said when we talked about this post game, when you needed to make a throw, you did. It was not credited as a completed pass because you had the DPI, but it was a big throw by Jake to Parker Ison that would have moved the sticks either way, but you got the PI out of it and got the extra 15.
Yeah, I don't know that was probably our game plan going in. We did take some throws early. We had a go ball down the hash. Their guy made a nice play on interception. We threw a stretch pass there with Jonah early on too. There were several throws there early we just didn't execute on, and then we kind of got real physical. And once you get there in the winning time, there in the third and fourth quarter, you really got to try to lay on them, lean on them, and that's really what we try to do, particularly in the fourth. And in the third, we didn't have the ball, and when we had it, we turned it over twice in a row. We just didn't have the ball, and so there was not a lot of chance to get any type of schematic things going because we didn't have the damn thing. We couldn't hang on to it, and so that's all part of it. And I felt like in the fourth quarter there, when we got the drive with 7 minutes to go, our guys were like, okay, it's winning time, let's go. And those guys really dialed in, and obviously had a 15-play drive. And week 1 is pretty special.
You talk so much about seniors, but the seniors and the juniors of this group, they've played so much football. Mm-hmm. How much did you see the team kind of rally around that leadership last night when you're up 14-0? It looked like it was kind of, turning one direction, that this might be a runaway. And then all of a sudden, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and then another turnover leads to a touchdown, and next thing you know, we're even at 14.
Yeah, we have 30-plus guys, upperclassmen. A lot of guys have been in a lot of games. A lot of guys have been on a lot of big stages, including a stage like last night. So I think the biggest thing with our guys last night is, we didn't flinch. Again, we weren't perfect, and we kind of lost some momentum there, but our guys stayed the course. They've been in enough situations to know that you have to play through the storms. You have to play through that adversity. And at times last night we struggled with that, but at the end it's 48 minutes. And so, we were able to play through the peaks and the valleys, through that adversity when it really set in on us to get to the other side of it. And that's a big part of the outcome last night and who we are. And I think when you have that type of senior leadership, the culture that's in place, and guys that have been through those type of moments before, that's what you expect. And so we got what we expected out of our guys last night in that regard.
Jake, for you last night, it was one of those games where I talked with Coach. I said, you didn't do anything flashy, but there was a couple of big plays that you had where it was 4th down conversions, and you just got up underneath it and shoved it forward. And especially there on that last drive, that kept the drive alive. For you, understanding the game as a whole, how much has it slowed down since when you took the reins last year at Newport Central Catholic?
Yeah, it slowed down for me a lot, I think. Coming in NCC last year, the game was really fast for me. Coach Salmons, everyone else, they helped me practice reps. It slowed down a lot for me. I think last night I could have played a lot better, but I shout out to the guys for helping me, keeping my head in the game. Coach Salmons for giving me the opportunity to do what I can do. And, yeah, last night it was a great win for all of us.
having the offensive line you have in front of you, I said, your guards are over 600 pounds. You've got you got Carson Bowden at 220. He looks like a midget wedged in between those two big guys. When you go with that A-gap dive, you've got a lot of meat in front of you. It's pretty easy to follow.
Yeah, that really helps having Horsley and Crum in there. Carbell's a great leader at center too. Yeah, the offensive line, couldn't give those guys enough credit last night. They really helped us on that, especially on that last drive, just body blows on Ashland. But, yeah, you can't give them enough credit, especially the guys up front for everybody.
Now, I got to give you some credit, too, because you took a lick last night.
Yeah.
So you had a play, and you found a seam, and you squirted through it. I think you thought you were free, and unfortunately Cam Davis was standing over the top, and it was like, welcome to the game, and you got popped. You jumped right back up. It plays like that in a football game. Does that get you going?
Oh, yeah, my adrenaline was rushing after that play. But, on that, I lost the ball at the end, got to hold on to it. But when I squirted through there, I was like, I might score this touchdown. He just popped me from the side. I didn't even see him coming. But, yeah, stuff like that, it just really gets your adrenaline going, and it's just a fun game.
You guys take over from your own 19 after the defense gets the stop. What coach tell you before you took the ball and headed up back out on the field that last drive?
He told me, he's like, we got to value the ball. We got 7.5 minutes left on the clock. We got to get down, either try to get in field goal range, or we got to go down and win the game, score a touchdown.
When you guys got it across the 50, at what point were you looking in your head? Again, being the kicker, it kind of makes it a little easy because you know where you want the ball and where you want to go. What was the number in your mind that you felt like that I really need to get myself to this point to be ready?
Probably the 25-yard line. That's where, that's probably, my farthest that I would probably try to get to. Anything, deeper than that, I probably, need to get a little bit closer, but probably just the 25-yard line and in for me.
So 42-yard kick, you felt comfortable with that point?
Yeah.
Now, I was talking to you before the show. I said, did you want it right hash? Did you want it center, left hash? It really didn't matter. And, we were talking before the show. You guys had it on the right hash. You had an opportunity to run another player or run it just to move it where you want. And Coach Ashley said, where you want? He said, it's fine right where it is. And you guys just take it down. Someone almost say kind of ice the kicker there a little bit with the extra time to think about. But for you, go back, take me back through that. What was the thought process as you were waiting to make that kick?
Just stay calm, trust in myself and the guys. Scout getting the snap, Parker getting the hold, me kicking the ball. It's just reps that we do in practice every day. And thanks to the coaches and everybody for having confidence in me to make the kick, to win the game. And it's just fun to end the game like that, win the game on a kick. And it's just a great thing to do.
Kickers are like hitters. They know it when they get it. Did you know it was good when it left your foot?
No, I did not. When I first kicked it, I thought it was going to be short. And then as the ball just kept going, once it got past, once it got over the end zone, I knew it was going in. But right when I kicked it, I thought it was short.
How big of a win is that to start the season? That's, a historic season, and Coach and I have talked about this. You only get one shot at 100. But to start it off with a win like that, Raceland has now beaten Ashland 3 of the last 5 meetings, and 2 of those have been at Putnam. But to start a season like that, how big is that?
It's really big for us. It's a great season tone setter for us. But you can't harp on the win. You got to get back on the drawing board on Sunday, get ready for next week's game. I mean, high school football is a long season. You got 4 months. You make it all the way to state championship, and that's our goal every year is make it to Kroger. So we get back on Sunday. We get ready for PRP next Friday, and after that, it's just one game at a time, 7 days at a time.
I want to clarify one thing I did say on the broadcast last night. I was going off of memory in the moment, and the last time I could remember a walk-off field goal for Raceland was 2017 when Luke Leemaster hit it to go to Kroger Field for the first time. Jesse Eisen helped me out here. It was actually 2020 when Peyton Eisen, Parker's older brother, who owns Eisen Cards and Collectibles, hit a game winner on a walk-off against Paintsville at home. Paintsville was the #1 team in the state at the time, 23-20. And then Raceland also had another walk-off, but it was an extra point in 2021. That was in the overtime of the Mud Bowl against Lawrence County. So I am working on a record book for Raceland football. this school thing gets in the way, Coach, and we've been doing a lot of stuff here at the Total Media Sports Network, and that's kind of put a damper on stuff. But hopefully I'll have it done within the next couple of weeks, and we'll have all that stuff in there. But another great opportunity this week. You take the Yellow Dog and you make a long trip. We've made this trip before. We know where Louisville is, but we've never been to this part of Louisville, and that was something you talked about, a great opportunity early in the season to go somewhere other in the state that you've ever been, and this time going well west of Lexington.
Yeah, it's the next opportunity for us. I mean, the process don't change. We get recovered. We'll get back in the film room, get back in the weight room. I'm sure I sound like a broken record, but that's really how it works. We'll be on the squat rack Monday. We'll be on the field tomorrow. We'll be in the film room tomorrow. We'll get back at it. We have offensive practice Tuesday, and so the process continues of us trying to be the best version of ourselves every day. And it is a long run. You talk about baseball, and I'm a big baseball guy, and the season, once you start playing the games, it's over in 8 weeks. 8 weeks here, you're not out of district play, and it's just a different model. And so, we're going to try to make sure we get better every day along the way. And this is our next opportunity, going to a 6A school. Again, we don't really talk about size of schools. That doesn't really matter to us. But going to a new environment with a new challenge, a new unknown, if you will. 3 hours from home, where most likely flags are going to be unfriendly. That fans will probably be unfriendly, and really all you got is your 50 brothers and your guys and your staff. And so that forges that bond when you put yourself in those moments. And some of the biggest turns in our season, I made no mistake about it. A year ago, our season turned when we were 2 hours from home. It's undeniable. And there's been some other seasons that turned the same way. When we were at Highlands last year, our football season turned around, and it doesn't always indicate on the scoreboard that your season turned around, because it's about bigger than just a scoreboard every week. And so it's a chance for us to move forward and put ourselves in an adverse moment. And these games really prepare you for postseason, right? I mean, it was the last 2 years we've been in Louisville. Have bus, we'll travel wherever we need to go. We'll gladly go. If you're afforded the opportunity to play in November, let's go, right? And so that's what this is all about. And we'll get back to the film room and get prepared and make sure we move forward from week 1 to week 2.
8 o'clock kickoff this Friday night down in Louisville due to the long trip. So our countdown to kickoff coverage will begin at 7:40 from Pleasure Ridge Park, western part of the city of Louisville. But it should be a great challenge for the Rams, and we're excited for the trip.
Yeah, PRP is a well-known program. I don't know how long went on school throughout the state. I think they were in the state finals in baseball this past summer. 2 years ago, they were state champs in baseball. Basketball program's been in Sweet 16 multiple times. So, we're not playing a school that just showed up on the block. PRP's been around a long time. Jefferson County. This may be the first Jefferson County public school maybe that we've ever participated against. In my 2 decades of coaching plus some playing days, it would definitely be obviously Country Day's a private school. I don't know if we played any other JCPS schools along the way or not, but it's a great opportunity for us to take our brand and take it west, take it to Central Kentucky. Louisville, I'm not really a big history guy or geography guy, but are they the most populated city in the state? I suppose they are.
It's like if they're or Northern Kentucky.
They got the biggest school system, I know. Yeah. So it's a chance for us to take our product and make it well known. And so we have some Ram fans along 64 headed westbound. I'm sure they'll grab right along and have a shorter trip to Louisville.
All right, Coach, we'll talk to you next week. Jake, thanks for coming in. Nice win last night. Enjoy the rest of the season. All right, we'll step out for a break. We come back, we'll dial in Major League Baseball. The postseason run is heating up. A lot of great stuff to talk about. We'll break it down as we continue here on Across the Line on the Total Media Sports Network.
At Clark's Pump and Shop, we're not just a gas station. We're your neighbors.
We're the folks who support your child's sports teams. Fuel your mornings with fresh ground coffee and have a friendly staff that probably knows the name of your dog.
Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Tired of gas prices draining your wallet faster than your tank?
Download the Clark's Pump and Shop Rewards app. Earn discounts on gas, breakfast sandwiches, drinks, and more.
Fuel up, snack up, save up with Clark's Rewards. Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Hi, I'm Kevin Anderson with First National Bank in Moorhead. From home, auto, and construction financing to refinancing options, we've got the tools to help move you forward. We also offer checking, savings, and full business banking solutions built to support you and your goals. Stop in to see us and let's talk about how we can help you. First National Bank, a tradition of value since 1902. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Primary Plus is your home for quality, advanced, affordable health care, offering family health, OBGYN, counseling, dental, diabetes management, patient-centered medical home, school-based health services, and a pharmacy. Primary Plus also offers the COVID-19 vaccine. Primary Plus with locations in Ashland, Vanceburg, South Shore, Grayson, Tollsboro, Maysville, Flemingsburg, and now in Moorhead. Online, primaryplus.net. For quality, advanced, affordable health care, come to Primary Plus. Again, online, primaryplus.net.
Temperatures are on the rise, and so is the bite, and Borders Sporting Goods is your fishing headquarters for rods and reels from G. Loomis, St. Croix, Fenwick, Lewes, Shimano, Daiwa, and Abu Garcia. No matter what species of fish you are targeting, Borders has the perfect setup to make your next trip on the water a success. Borders has baits in every size and style with a wide selection of tackle from Berkley, Strike King, Zoom, Z-Man, Bandit, and many more. Before hitting the water for your next fishing trip, stop by and stock up at Borders Sporting Goods, US 60 West in Ashland.
Your Tri-State weather forecast is brought to you by Perry Distributing in Ironton and Ashland, proud distributors of Budweiser and Bud Light.
This morning starts mostly sunny with a slight chance of afternoon showers and highs reaching 91. This evening, we can expect to see mostly cloudy skies and a slight chance of rain overnight with lows near 68. And for Sunday, we'll see some rain start to develop after 8 a.m., otherwise partly sunny with highs around 88.
More great country music from the legends coming up right after Across the Line with James Collier right here on 105.7 WLGC.
Back inside the octagon, Across the Line, as what a way to start the 2025 season. Listen, my voice is horrible. I feel like it's December and January. Now, to put that in perspective, I've done 2 soccer games this week. Taught for 3 days, and then that game last night. I got out of bed this morning. I was squeaking like I was a 13-year-old going through puberty again. I got a soccer game tonight too, but this is the favorite time of year. But that right there was a fun football game. And the thing is like when it was 14-0. Even in my head, I was like, I know Ashland's not done. Chad Tackett and his crew down there, they do a phenomenal job, and they've got some athletes. Cam Davis last night. That kid is special. I talked with Coach Salmons before the game, and we talked about Cam. I've been around Cam for a few years of watching him come all the way through the system at Ashland, and got a great opportunity to be around his mom, Stacy, who coaches the girls team, and really think a world of her and the program that she has. But Cam's just a fun kid. Cam and I, we've been in rehab together of rehabbing injuries and stuff. So I've got to talk to him at rehab and stuff. But he's dynamite in a bottle. He's not the biggest kid in the world, but he really his speed is so electric. There was one time last night he about broke one. Jonah Arnett chased him out of bounds, but when you have a Cam Davis on your team, you are in any fight that you have a chance to be in. And he gave them a chance. Hat tip to Justin Hughes, their sophomore quarterback last night. He was a little unsettled early, but he made some big throws, made a couple of big runs with his feet. He had, by the way, I learned a new term last night called octopus. Okay, so if you score the touchdown and then the conversion of the 2-point conversion at the same time, it's called an octopus. Well, he had an octopus last night. Okay, that tied the game at 14. Jacob Hankins told me I've never heard that term. Apparently, there was a thing on DraftKings that it was like a bet last year for NFL. If a player scores the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, it's an octopus. So it was like, you're going to bet, is anybody going to get an octopus this week? And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about, an octopus. I didn't know there was an octopus in football. But yeah, he I will say this, Hughes is very elusive. They had another running back, Dalen Farrell, that came in and gave him some really superb work. And, when I talked to Chad a couple weeks ago, actually it was last week, I believe it was, he talked about Dalen and what he was going to bring to the table. Ashland lost a running back last night. Mav Ashby went down in the second quarter with an injury, and they kind of had to running back by committee. They were bringing Simpkins in. They brought in Luke McCoy for a carry or two. But Farrell really came in and did a good job. Did a good job in the return game. Listen, this Ashland team, they're going to be fine. There's some people that's going to look down this morning and feel like the world is coming to an end because they lost to Raceland. I'm going to tell you right now, Raceland's a good football team. This may be one of the best football teams that I've seen in the orange and black since I've been covering Raceland for now some close to 10 years. So that is 2 good football teams, and I think you're going to see both of those teams playing deep into the postseason. When we get into the latter parts of November and you're talking about Black Friday football, I would not be surprised to see both of those teams talking about that same conversation. So we'll see how it plays through. But heck of a football game last night to start off the 2025 campaign. All right, let's dig into Major League Baseball as the postseason is heating up, and some teams are going the wrong direction. The Yankees. Yeah, I love it. Oh, God, I love it. The Yankees lost again last night to my Red Sox in the Bronx, too. The Yankees have beat the Red Sox only one time this year. It's beautiful. All right, Pirates over the Rockies in the Toilet Bowl. 9-0, Pirates win it. The Rockies 37-92. Dwayne, they're 8 games away from 100 losses. They won't get it this week, but we will be on the Century Watch starting next week. They can't play 8 games this week, okay? But we will be on the Century Watch starting next week for the Colorado Rockies to see if they can chase down the mark that the Chicago White Sox had last year. So we'll see. Washington over Philadelphia, 5-4 in Philly. Astros beat the Orioles 10-7 in Baltimore. Red Sox blanked the Yankees 1-0. Brian Bayo, 7 shutout innings. Yankees only 3 hits in the ballgame. Aroldis Chapman picks up his 24th save. That dude is special. He just, this year, has found another gear. And I've always called him, even back in the day he was with the Cincinnati Reds, I called him the Cuban Missile Crisis. He's electric. Used to it was fastball slider. It's all he had. Now he's got a split finger. And, you get a fastball coming out of this guy's hands at triple digits, and then he snaps off that split finger, and his slider's already devastating in itself. But Aroldis Chapman is having the season of his life. This may be his best career season ever from all the days of he's been around. But, he is right now in his late 30s showing that he is one of the best closers in all of baseball. And I was not big on this acquisition. I'll be straight up honest. As a Red Sox fan, I thought Chapman was borrowed time. And maybe he's on borrowed time. But right now, it is beautiful. And if, they always talk about a fruit tree. Right before it dies, it gives its best plentiful that it pops out like an apple tree. You'll get more apples and you know what to do. Next year, you maybe get 4 because it's dead. Well, he might be dead, but right now he is plentiful. And I hope it keeps coming. Rays over the Cardinals, 10-6. Mets over the Braves, 12-7. Mets need that win to stay in that contention for that wild card berth. Blue Jays continue their winning ways. They beat the Marlins 5-2 in Miami. It was the Tigers over the Royals, 7-5. Twins over the White Sox, 9-7. Rangers over the Guardians, 4-3 in Texas. Brewers, the hottest team in baseball, 81 wins, first team to 80. They beat the Giants 5-4 in Milwaukee. Cubs over the Angels, 3-2. It was the D-backs beating the poor old Cincinnati Reds. I told you, the Reds just can't find a way to do it. D-backs win it 6-5. Padres over the Dodgers 2-1 in San Diego, and the Mariners beat the Athletics 3-2. Oh yeah, did I mention the Reds lost in extra innings? By the way, God love them, the poor old Deads. All right, here we go. Standings around the bigs. Toronto leads the American League East. They've got a 5-game lead over the Boston Red Sox. Toronto 75-54, Red Sox 70-59. The Yankees are in third place, 5.5 back, followed by Tampa and Baltimore. Detroit leads the American League Central. They now have the best record in the American League. They've won 8 of their last 10, and that's big because going into the All-Star break and coming out of the All-Star break, there were some conversations, was Detroit going to give this thing away? We were looking at it before they started that slide going into the All-Star break. Like, man, Detroit might have this thing wrapped up by the 1st of September. And then it was like, God, are they going to let Cleveland and Minnesota and Kansas City get back into this thing? Well, they've opened up a 10.5 game lead in the division over Kansas City, who's 3 games over 500. Cleveland, 11.5 off the pace, Twins and White Sox rounding things out. Houston leads the West. They've got a 2-game lead over the Seattle Mariners, who have cooled off. Seattle was blistering hot coming out of the trade deadline, but they've lost 7 of their last 10 to kind of lose a little bit of pace, not only in the wild card race, but also in the division for the American League West. Texas, 7.5 games out of first place. They're 2 games under 500. Angels and Athletics rounding out the basement. In the East, the Philadelphia Phillies with a 6-game lead over the New York Mets. Both of those teams have gone 5-5 over the last 10. The Marlins 14 off the pace, Atlanta and Washington rounding things out. Milwaukee with the best record in baseball. They're the only team to 80 wins. They sit at 81-48, a 7-game lead over the Cubs. The Reds are 14 off the pace at 5 games over 500. St. Louis and Pittsburgh trailing in the bottom. And then the Dodgers and the Padres, they are squared in the National League West at 73-56, a 10-game lead over the Diamondbacks. The Giants are 12 off the pace. Colorado 37-92. So again, next week we'll start the Century Watch. Colorado's going to get there. It's just the question is, how many do they have left that we feel like, and that's what I'm going to break down next week. I'm going to break down the remaining of their schedule, and I'm going to make a prediction and see where they are when we get there. I don't know. They've won too many games over the last month to be able to get to 120. I don't think they're going to make it. But we'll break it down in depth next week when we get there. Okay, here's where we stand in the wild card. If the postseason started today, Detroit, Toronto, Houston, that's your 1, 2, and 3. The Red Sox are the 4, the Yankees the 5, and the Mariners are the 6. Kansas City's 3 off the pace. Cleveland is 4 off the pace. Now remember, I said 7 teams is what I'm looking at for 6 teams that's going to make the postseason for the American League. I'm sorry, I just got caught. There was a car just drove past that had a window air conditioner with a ratchet strap over the 2 fender wells on the wing of the car. That was the coolest. I don't know what it was, if they're transporting what, but it was a window air conditioner in the center of the trunk lid with a big green ratchet strap over the car. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to cool down the world as they're going through, doing something good. I don't know. I just got perplexed. They just drove past the studio. That's why I paused. Like, what the heck was that? Kansas City's 3 behind. Cleveland's 4. That dotted line, it's dark. It's not in pen. It's still in pencil. But there's some ink starting to fade its way through. We'll see where we are. Could I possibly go Sharpie on the American League next week? We shall see. In the National League, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, that's your 1 and 2. Dodgers and San Diego, they are even. So whichever team does not win the West at where it would be right now would fall into the 5th place. The Cubs are 4th. Then either the Dodgers or the Padres, and then the New York Mets. The Cincinnati Reds are a game and a half behind the New York Mets for the 6th and final spot. And I don't trust the Reds. I'm sorry. They're 5-5 over the last 10. They've lost 2 consecutive against not a very good Arizona team. Again, they're playing out west. I get it. They suck on the West Coast most of the time. They always have. But I just don't. I don't have enough to buy into the Cincinnati Reds. I just can't do it. And I'm going to stay with the Sharpie. I think there are 6 teams that's in, and it's going to be those 6 teams come in October. All right, we'll step out for a break. When we return, we are going to Atlanta. East Lake Golf Club, it's the Tour Championship and the final weekend of the PGA regular season. We'll break it down and take a look at the leaderboard when we continue here on Across the Line on the Total Media Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Kevin Anderson with First National Bank in Moorhead. From home, auto, and construction financing to refinancing options, we've got the tools to help move you forward. We also offer checking, savings, and full business banking solutions built to support you and your goals. Stop in to see us and let's talk about how we can help you. First National Bank, a tradition of value since 1902. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Primary Plus is your home for quality, advanced, affordable health care, offering family health, OBGYN, counseling, dental, diabetes management, patient-centered medical homes, school-based health services, and a pharmacy. Primary Plus also offers the COVID-19 vaccine. Primary Plus with locations in Ashland, Vanceburg, South Shore, Grayson, Tollsboro, Maysville, Flemingsburg, and now in Moorhead. Online, primaryplus.net. For quality, advanced, affordable health care, come to Primary Plus. Again, online, primaryplus.net.
Temperatures are on the rise, and so is the bite, and Borders Sporting Goods is your fishing headquarters for rods and reels from G. Loomis, St. Croix, Fenwick, Lewes, Shimano, Daiwa, and Abu Garcia. No matter what species of fish you are targeting, Borders has the perfect setup to make your next trip on the water a success. Borders has baits in every size and style with a wide selection of tackle from Berkeley, Strike King, Zoom, Z-Man, Bandit, and many more. Before hitting the water for your next fishing trip, stop by and stock up at Borders Sporting Goods, US 60 West in Ashland.
At Clark's Pump & Shop, we're not just a gas station, we're your neighbors.
We're the folks who support your child's sports teams. Fuel your mornings with fresh ground coffee and have a friendly staff that probably knows the name of your dog.
Clark's Pump & Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Tired of gas prices draining your wallet faster than your tank?
Download the Clark's Pump & Shop Rewards app. Earn discounts on gas, breakfast sandwiches, drinks, and more.
Fuel up, snack up, save up with Clark's Rewards. Clark's Pump & Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Let's get back inside the octagon of sports with James Collier and Across the Line on the Total Media Sports Network and 105.7 WLGC.
Back inside the octagon here on Across the Line on the Total Media Sports Network. Fog is gone, sun is out. It's going to be a beautiful day. You know, the crazy thing, weather's going to get nasty this coming week. And I say nasty, it's cold. We're going to be highs in the 70s. There's, I think, Thursday night, we're looking at the low around 50. Out in the low-lying areas, we may see some 40s. I'm not ready to stop. So one of the things I'm doing on my pool, okay, first, I hate swimming. Okay, I hate swimming. It's so stupid. But I'm going on a cruise in April. My wife and I, we're going to Aruba and Carousel. We're going to the Southern Caribbean. And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to go scuba diving in Aruba. So when we went on a cruise 2 years ago to the Bahamas and Jamaica, and one of the things we tried while we were there, we tried scuba diving. And it was just on the ship, in the pool and stuff. You put the gear on, got in the pool, got to swim and everything. Well, the thing that I struggle with is it's my New York City firefighter mustache, okay? This thing I've shaved it like 3 times in my life since I'm 18 years old. My wife hates it if I shave it. So I've got this really thick mustache. So when I put my snorkel mask on, what happens is that the water will leak into my nose. And if I get water around my nose, I go into panic mode, okay? So I've been working to try to figure them out, and what I've found is it's like a silicone-based grease. It's a kind of used in plumbing for gaskets and O-rings and stuff like that. But divers will use it for this type of thing. And I put that around my mustache, and then I put my mask on, and it seals so that doesn't happen. So I've been working in my swimming pool with my snorkeling mask and my snorkel, just staying with my face underwater and getting comfortable. And I get really comfortable, and I just want to continue to do it. But my pool right now, I mean, it's like walking into a bathtub. Okay, it's so warm. It's phenomenal. You just walk in, get in, go, okay? We get into the 50s at night. This dude ain't going to be getting into no swimming pool, okay? I don't like cold water unless I'm hiking. If like out in the west, we would go up and hike a mountain. We come out, and the streams, the creeks that was right there beside where we'd come out of, it was the snow-capped mountains where the water melted off. So it was like 55, 60 degrees. It was water. I mean, perfect. It was cold as could be, but it felt so great on your muscles. But, yeah, if I'm going to go swimming, I don't want to be swimming when the water's like 70 degrees. There's nothing fun about that. But it's gonna cool it off a little bit. We'll stay warm today. Tomorrow, some chances of rain tomorrow. And then the temperatures really slope off as we get down into the mid and low 70s next week. Real quick before I dive into golf, looking at the remaining opportunity for the Colorado Rockies. They have 33 games remaining, including today. Last year, the Chicago White Sox lost 121 games. If they lost every game the rest of the season, they would get to 125. Now, for them to match the White Sox of last year, that means that they can only win 4 more games the rest of the season. So we'll see. They're playing Pittsburgh. So there's a chance that they could pick up a win or two today or tomorrow. But I'll break down their schedule next week, and I'll predict to see, can the Rockies get to the Chicago White Sox at 121? I don't think it's going to happen. They got too many stinking wins when we come out of the second half of baseball. But I don't know. We'll see. All right, Tour Championship. East Lake Golf Club down in Atlanta. It's the final round of the FedEx Cup playoffs. And this one's going to be a fun one. So Tommy Fleetwood sits at 13 under par. He's had 2 low rounds, 64 on day 1, 63 on yesterday, 7 under par through round number 2. Russell Henley is in a tie with him at 13 under par. He shot an opening round 61 on Thursday, came back with 62 yesterday. This course is giving up some crazy low scores. Cam Young came up 9 positions yesterday with an 8 under 62 after posting a 67 on day number 1. Robert McIntyre and Patrick Cantlay are in a tie for 4th at 10 under par. Both of those shooting even rounds of 64 on Thursday, 66 yesterday. So identical rounds by them. And then some guy named Scotty Scheffler shot a 63 on the opening day and only a 69 yesterday. He fell 4 spots yesterday to 6th. Now, it's Scotty Scheffler, ho-hum. It's like he's a robot. You just sit there and watch, and he's going to go out and he's going to do what he does. And the next thing you know, Scotty Scheffler's going to be sitting at the top of the leaderboard. You see what he did last week. It was just unbelievable. The guy that was so funny, the guy that he chased down, when they asked him, what do you have to do to your game to try to chase down Scotty Scheffler, to be able to get to where he goes, right now I don't really care. He said, right now the only thing I want to do is break every golf club that I own. He wanted to he was so frustrated because it's one of the things you feel like that you do everything that you're supposed to do right, and you're still nowhere near Scotty Scheffler. What people are seeing right now with Scotty Scheffler is the closest thing that this generation will see. And I'm not talking about a long period of time. We're talking like 20 years ago. But epic, dominant Tiger Woods in the early part of his career. 2000s in that time right there. And he's still nowhere near the level of Tiger, of what Tiger did and the dominance. Now, he's getting there. Now, the difference between Tiger Woods and Scotty Scheffler, Tiger Woods had a very animated personality. Scotty Scheffler just typically doesn't do that. He doesn't lash out on the golf course. He's very mundane. It's kind of like a lot of people says, it's kind of robotic with the way that he approaches everything. But the game of golf is so mental. That is the biggest challenge of becoming a great golfer. It's understanding of it's not about how far you hit the ball. It's about how you approach when you make a mistake. It's how you handle yourself when you card a big number, of how you bounce back and not just allowing that moment to define your entire round. And it's hard to do. Golf is a very hard game. You're hitting a little tiny ball with a piece of metal somewhere between 300, 400, 500, even for these big tour players, 600 yards away. And if you miss the facing of the club to the ball the least little bit, forget it. It's gone. It's taking a hard right, a hard left, and it's in the trees, it's in the water, it's in the bunker, deep in the grass. It's tough, and it weighs on you. And, most of the time when you finish up playing 18 holes of golf, if you're a true golfer, a competitive golfer, you're mentally exhausted just because you have everything in your mind is working so hard. Golf is a game of chess. You're playing one shot to set up the next shot from there, and that's just the way it works. But Scotty Scheffler at 8 under par, 5 off the lead. Don't count that cat out, especially on Sunday. Shane Lowry, God, I hate this guy. He cries so much. Shot a 7 under 63 yesterday after even par on Thursday, rising up 16 spots. Him and Chris Gotterup, identical 70-63 at tie for 7th with Sam Burns, Rory McIlroy, Ben Griffin, Akshay Bahita, and Justin Thomas. Thomas 64 on round 169 yesterday, falling 4 shots. I'd love to see JT make a run at this thing. That rounds out your top 10. But it's going to be a fun weekend. Some other big names in the mix there. Again, only 30 golfers in the round. Colin Morikawa, tie for 14th after a 64 on Thursday, 70 yesterday. Hideki Matsuyama, 69-69 at 2 under par. Victor Hovland and J.J. Spawn over par yesterday, only 3 rounds over par. Brian Harmon was the other. Spawn and Victor Hovland in a 4-way tie with Sepp Straka and Justin Rose at 27. All right, we'll take our final break. We come back. It's the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week. Customer service, please. That's when we return after this here on Across the Line on the Total Media Sports Network.
Primary Plus is your home for quality, advanced, affordable health care, offering family health, OBGYN, counseling, dental, diabetes management, patient-centered medical homes, school-based health services, and a pharmacy. Primary Plus also offers the COVID-19 vaccine. Primary Plus with locations in Ashland, Vanceburg, South Shore, Grayson, Tollsboro, Maysville, Flemingsburg, and now in Moorhead. Online, primaryplus.net. For quality, advanced, affordable health care, come to Primary Plus. Again, online, primaryplus.net.
Temperatures are on the rise, and so is the bite, and Borders Sporting Goods is your fishing headquarters for rods and reels from G. Loomis, St. Croix, Fenwick, Lewes, Shimano, Daiwa, and Abu Garcia. No matter what species of fish you are targeting, Borders has the perfect setup to make your next trip on the water a success. Borders has baits in every size and style with a wide selection of tackle from Berkley, Strike King, Zoom, Z-Man, Bandit, and many more. Before hitting the water for your next fishing trip, stop by and stock up at Borders Sporting Goods, US 60 West in Ashland.
At Clark's Pump and Shop, we're not just a gas station, we're your neighbors.
We're the folks who support your child's sports teams. Fuel your mornings with fresh ground coffee and have a friendly staff that probably knows the name of your dog.
Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Tired of gas prices draining your wallet faster than your tank?
Download the Clark's Pump and Shop Rewards app. Earn discounts on gas, breakfast sandwiches, drinks, and more.
Fuel up, snack up, save up with Clark's Rewards. Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Hi, I'm Kevin Anderson with First National Bank in Moorhead. From home, auto, and construction financing to refinancing options, we've got the tools to help move you forward. We also offer checking, savings, and full business banking solutions built to support you and your goals. Stop in to see us and let's talk about how we can help you. First National Bank, a tradition of value since 1902. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Chris DeMeo. 2 days ago it was Eric. Now it's Lyle Menendez, who's turned down for parole.
It's not the worst day that they've had, but at the very least, they should have gotten a fair hearing, and they did not get that.
Menendez attorney Mark Garagos. The Menendez can have their cases reviewed again in 3 years. Lyle and Eric remain jailed for the shotgun killings of their parents in Beverly Hills 35 years ago. The Texas Senate voting 18-11 to approve a newly redrawn congressional map early Saturday.
The new map was drawn to help the GOP win as many as 5 additional U.S. House seats in next year's midterm election.
Fox's Chanley Painter. It comes after California Democratic lawmakers approved redistricting its congressional map to counter Texas. The Fed signaling it may soon cut interest rates. America's listening to Fox News.
This is Across the Line with James Collier on the Total Media Sports Network and 105.7 WLGC.
Back inside the octagon here on Across the Line. Time for the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week. Borders Sporting Goods US 60 in Cannonsburg. For all your hunting and fishing needs, as well as those Liberty gun safes, go see Brad and the gang out at Borders. They'll get you all squared away. Big sale right now on Shimano Curado 150 MGLs and Tran X reels. They're there until they're gone. Great deals on those Shimano reels. So if you're a Shimano person, unlike me, I do not like Shimano. I never have. I had one Shimano reel, my very first baitcaster my dad got for me, and I couldn't throw that thing in the bottom of the ocean quick enough. I hated that thing. It was so hard to cast. I'm a loose guy. But either way, Evan Ferguson, I think he's a big Shimano guy. He's probably out there loading up right now. Big win for them. Don't forget tonight, Ironton football on 106.7 FM as well as on our YouTube page. You can listen to the live stream there as Ironton opens up their 2024 championship title defense this season down at Shelby Valley. 8:30 kickoff. 8 o'clock is the pregame show. Jason Filial, the voice of the Ironton Fighting Tigers, will have all the action. And then Tuesday night, we'll have our first coaches shows. The Ironton Coaches Show will be at BW3's up in Ironton at 7 o'clock. That one you can hear on 106.7 as well as on, you can watch it on Kool TV. And then Coach Evan Ferguson and Boyd County Coaches Show will be on Tuesday night right here on Hank FM 105.7 FM. Customer service, please. Well, guess where this was? Wally World, again. So my wife went up to Walmart last Sunday night. She had to go get some stuff. She was trying to work on some stuff for school, and she needed a few things. And I returned to school this week. Went back on Monday, got kids on Wednesday. Had a great first week with the kids. Super excited. I started my 10th year of teaching, by the way. It didn't even seem possible. But we got some great kids at Raceland. I love my job. It's sometimes you got to pinch yourself because it's nice. But my wife was like, I said, if you don't care, pick me up some donuts so I can have for breakfast. I really love Walmart's donuts. Their bakery stuff's really, really good. So she went up there. She got her stuff. She got home, and she forgot a bag. So she calls the store, and the lady at the customer service answered. She said, I was just there. She said, I think I accidentally left a bag. I went through self-checkout, and I forgot to pick up one of my bags. And she goes, well, that's not our problem. It's your responsibility to take care of your own bags. And my wife went from nice to Karen in about 1.6 seconds. And I was like, oh, God, this is going to be bad. And she's like, okay. She goes, I'll be right there. Thank you. And I was like, oh, Lord, this is going to be ugly. So she gets in a car. We live in Worthington, so it's not like just a hop, skip, and a jump to get to Walmart. It's about a 12-minute drive or whatever, depending on one way with the traffic and stuff. So off she goes to Wally World, and she is torqued off. Again, this is like 9:30 at night, too, by the way. It's not in the daytime. So she goes into Wally World and goes over to the customer service desk. And guess what is at the customer service desk? Her missing bag. The lady from self-checkout took it up to customer service and told them, hey, a customer left this at self-checkout. So she goes up, and the lady, the hag that she talked to on the phone, she's like, I called, I left a bag in self-checkout. And she goes, yeah, here it is. And she's like, oh, thanks for nothing. Got her bag. She did go down and thank the person in self-checkout. But, the thing I don't understand is that where did we lose the meaning of customer service? The last time I checked, as a customer, if I do not pay for your product, your company's not going to have anything to pay for your job. And you're going to be sitting on the unemployment line or looking for something else. The other side of it is that if you hate life, like to the point to where every morning you want to get up and drink a bottle of glass or eat a shard of glass and mix it down with some screws and bolts and nuts, do not go into the sector of work of customer service. Because the thing that drives me nuts about customer service people is, I'm going to be generous here, 75% of those people, they hate life. They are miserable in their life, and they want everybody else around them to be miserable with them. They say, misery loves company. Well, these people are trying to start a party. Like, they want to freaking rave with the miserable people. And they want everybody around them to be awful and just, angry. I don't get it. Your job is to provide service to me, the person that is buying your product. And if you have a problem with that, then you need to find a different line of work. Go out and dig ditches. Go cut weeds. Do something to where you're not interacting with people. But it's fascinating to where you see so many people anymore that in the customer service sector to where they're very snippy toward the customer. They're rude. They don't care if they really help you or not. The biggest thing that we have in our society right now is that we have a lot of people who want jobs. Not because they want to work, so they want a paycheck. They think that they need to show up and draw a paycheck. And after that, they don't need to do anything else. I'm sorry to tell you, it's not how it works. So it's time for customer service to remember the first part of that. Customer. That's going to do it for us this week. Big thanks to Mike Salmons, Jake Waller for coming in, talking some Raceland football. Don't forget, Ironton football tonight on 106.7 FM. The Fighting Tigers down at Shelby Valley. Have a great weekend, everyone. For Dwayne Elliott, I'm James Collier. The Octagon is closed. This is Across the Line on the Total Media Sports Network.
You've been listening to Across the Line with James Collier on 105.7 WLGC FM and the Total Media Sports Network. Tune in each Saturday morning beginning at 10 for the latest news and analysis from inside the octagon of sports on 105.7 WLGC FM, Greenup, Ashland, and the Total Media Sports Network.
Broadcasting from the Southern Ohio Medical Center studios, this is 105.7 Hank FM. Greenup, Ironton, Huntington, USA. A Total Media Group station.
Best